The United States finds itself once again captivated by the pronouncements and actions of former President Donald Trump. Despite leaving office over 3 years ago, Trump's presence looms large over the nation's political and economic landscape. His pronouncements on the economy, his foreign policy maneuvers, and his executive orders have reignited old debates and sparked new controversies. As America grapples with uncertainty, all eyes are on Trump to see what he'll do next. Trump's return to the spotlight comes at a time of heightened anxiety for many Americans. The economy, a cornerstone of Trump's previous presidential campaign, has taken a downturn, leaving many feeling uncertain about the future. Into this void steps Trump, eager to reclaim his mantle as a leader and offer solutions to the nation's woes. His pronouncements, delivered with his signature blend of bravado and showmanship, have resonated with his base and beyond, setting the stage for yet another tumultuous chapter in American politics. The first quarter of 2025 brought with it a sobering reality check for the U.S. economy. The Commerce Department announced a 0.3% contraction in economic output, sending shockwaves through Wall Street and beyond. This unexpected downturn, the first since Trump left office, has raised concerns about the long-term health of the American economy and the effectiveness of the current administration's policies. Several factors have contributed to this economic slowdown. Rising inflation, a persistent issue since the pandemic, continues to erode consumer purchasing power. Supply chain disruptions, while easing somewhat, still plague various sectors of the economy. The ongoing conflict in Europe adds further uncertainty to the global economic outlook. These challenges, coupled with rising interest rates, have created a perfect storm for economic anxiety, leaving many Americans feeling vulnerable and uncertain about the future. In response to the economic downturn, Donald Trump has been quick to offer his assessment of the situation and his own set of solutions. Unsurprisingly, his prescription echoes the policies of his previous administration, which he argues led to unprecedented economic growth. Trump has been particularly critical of the current administration's handling of the economy, blaming their policies for the recent downturn. Central to Trump's economic plan is a call for significant tax cuts, particularly for businesses and corporations. He argues that reducing the tax burden will unleash economic activity, leading to job creation and increased investment. Additionally, Trump has called for the removal of tariffs, which he believes have unnecessarily increased costs for businesses and consumers alike. These measures, he contends, will stimulate economic growth and restore America's economic dominance. In a move that has surprised many observers, Donald Trump has recently forged a new economic agreement with Ukraine. This agreement focuses on the trade of rare earth minerals, resources that are essential for the production of various technologies, including electric vehicles and renewable energy systems. Trump has framed this agreement as a strategic move to reduce dependence on China, which currently dominates the global supply of these critical minerals. This unexpected partnership comes at a time when Ukraine is seeking to strengthen its international alliances and bolster its economy, which has been severely impacted by the ongoing conflict with Russia. For Trump, the agreement represents an opportunity to project American influence on the global stage and promote his vision of energy independence. The agreement has drawn criticism from some quarters, who view it as a cynical attempt to exploit Ukraine's vulnerability for personal gain. However, Trump remains undeterred, framing the deal as a win-win for both countries. Section 5. Back the Blue Trump's executive order on law enforcement. In a move that has reignited the debate over police reform, Donald Trump has signed an executive order extending legal protections for law enforcement officers. The order, which Trump argues is necessary to restore law and order in American cities, has been met with mixed reactions. Supporters of the order, including many law enforcement organizations, applaud Trump for recognizing the sacrifices made by police officers and providing them with the legal protections they deserve. However, critics of the order argue that it will exacerbate existing problems with police brutality and racial profiling. They contend that the order creates a climate of impunity for law enforcement, making it more difficult to hold officers accountable for misconduct. Civil rights groups have vowed to challenge the order in court, arguing that it violates fundamental constitutional rights. The debate over the order highlights the deep divisions in American society over the role of law enforcement and the balance between public safety and individual liberty. Donald Trump's return to the political stage has not been without its legal entanglements. His executive orders, policy pronouncements, and business dealings have all come under intense scrutiny, resulting in a flurry of lawsuits and legal challenges. Opponents, including civil rights groups, environmental organizations, and political rivals, have accused Trump of overstepping his authority, violating constitutional rights, and engaging in self-dealing. One particularly contentious area involves Trump's executive order on immigration, which seeks to restrict entry into the United States from several Muslim-majority countries. This order, which Trump argues is necessary to protect national security, has been met with fierce opposition from those who view it as discriminatory and unconstitutional. The legal battle over the order has dragged on for years, with multiple court rulings blocking its implementation. The ongoing legal challenges serve as a stark reminder of the deep divisions in American society and the high stakes of Trump's policy agenda. May Day 2025 witnessed a wave of protests across the United States, as various groups took to the streets to voice their opposition to Donald Trump's policies and pronouncements. The protests, organized by a coalition of labor unions, civil rights groups, and environmental organizations, highlighted the deep divisions that continue to plague American society. Demonstrators marched through major cities, carrying signs and chanting slogans that denounced Trump's policies on immigration, healthcare, climate change, and economic inequality. The May Day protests underscored the challenges facing the Biden administration as it attempts to govern a deeply divided nation. Trump's rhetoric and policies have mobilized a significant segment of the population who feel that their voices are not being heard. The protests serve as a stark reminder that the wounds of the Trump era are far from healed, and that the battle for the soul of America is far from over. Despite the controversies and legal challenges, Donald Trump remains a potent force in American politics. He has been actively campaigning for the 2025 presidential election, holding rallies and events across the country. His message, which focuses on economic nationalism, border security, and a return to America First policies, continues to resonate with his base of supporters. Trump's rallies draw massive crowds, eager to hear his pronouncements and bask in his presence. Trump's campaign speeches are vintage Trump, filled with bombastic rhetoric, attacks on his opponents, and promises to make America great again. He rails against the deep state, the fake news media, and the radical left, whom he blames for the nation's woes. Trump's supporters cheer his every word, convinced that he is the only one who can save America from ruin. As the United States navigates a period of economic uncertainty and political polarization, one thing is clear: Donald Trump's influence on American life remains as potent as ever. His pronouncements continue to dominate headlines, his policies continue to be debated, and his supporters remain as devoted as ever. Whether one agrees with him or not, there is no denying that Trump is a force to be reckoned with. The road ahead for Trump and for America remains uncertain. Will he run for president again in 2025? Will his legal troubles catch up with him? Will he succeed in reshaping the Republican Party in his image? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure: Donald Trump will continue to be a major player in American politics for years to come.